Hello, and welcome. Welcome to episode number 1 of Natural Living with Ocean Flower here on the WUNTV. I am so excited to be here. On our show, we are going to be learning all about essential oils, and we're going to learn what they are and how to use them and why you might consider using them. So, welcome. My name is Delmara, and I'm your oil lady, and I'm so excited to be here. So because it's our first show, today I'm just gonna, for one, just kind of introduce myself and talk to you just a little bit about what we're gonna be learning on the show, what we're gonna be talking about, and then as we go through more episodes, we'll get into a little bit more detail about some more specific topics. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to learn. So for one, I'll just start by introducing myself a little bit. So I am coming to you live from Loveland, Colorado. I have lived in Colorado for about 5 years with my husband and our 3 children, which we homeschool. And it's been about that same time that I've been working with essential oils, and I got into working with essential oils because probably about my daughter's 10. My oldest daughter's 10. So about 10 years ago, I kind of started this journey, if you will, toward natural living, to living a more natural and holistic lifestyle. I wasn't raised that way. I was raised, just when it came to foods and medicine and just a very conventional way. And once I had my daughter, I started to just kind of look at things a little bit differently. I started to put more thought into what are we putting in her body, what are in our bodies, what are we eating, what are we using in our home, what is this medicine, what does it do, why does she need it, is it harmful? I just started to think of things in a new light, and I started this process or this journey toward living a natural life. And through the years, that, if anybody lives kind of a natural lifestyle, that it's not this one big change overnight. It's all these different little things that stack and that change and that get different. And as the years went on, I found that a lot of people came to me for questions, wisdom, advice, whatever, oh, my kiddo is going through this health struggle, what would you do? Or, oh, I learned that, this certain cleaner or whatever is bad for my health. What do you use? And people were just coming to me more. So in that, I started using essential oils, and I came across the opportunity to have it be my job, if you will, to teach other people to use essential oils. And so I've been doing that for about 5 years and helping to transition people into a more natural lifestyle. And essential oils is part of it, but I almost look at it as that opens the door to so many more things and so many more conversations. And it's just been such a blessing in my life, not only for my own personal life and health and family, but to see hundreds of other people's lives shifted, changed, transformed through the use of these products and plants, just putting more plants in your life. And we're going to learn about how oils are just a really practical, easy way to do that. So let's start with what is an essential oil. Some of you watching may have used oils before, maybe you've heard of oils, or maybe you have no idea what that even is. So plants, naturally in nature, any plant, whether it's this beautiful house plant or some cilantro that I might put in my dinner that I'm cooking, or a rose that I might stop to smell, or a tree, any plant naturally creates essential oils. If you were to look at plants under a microscope, you would actually see tiny little sacs of oils sitting on the plant. And that oil is the aromatic compounds of the plant, but also that oil is what holds a lot of the medicinal properties of the plant. So if you take that cilantro that you're cutting up to put in your guacamole, and you rub some between your fingers and you smell it, what you're smelling is actually the essential oil from that plant. So what we have learned to do is to extract that oil from the plant material and bottle it up. And that's typically done through like a steam distillation process. Sometimes it's like with citrus, they like cold press the rind. But either way, they're taking the essential oil that naturally occurs in the plant and extracting it from the plant material. And then what you end up with is like bottled up, super, super concentrated plant medicine, essentially. So it's plants. Essential oils are just concentrated plants. And what that does for you is that gives you a really, really easy way to use plants in your day-to-day life. So in our family, we use essential oils every single day for so many things. I don't even know. Like, I should really like count like how many times and for what different things we use oils, because it's come such a part of our life, whether it's like working toward improving like a health concern or something that's going on in somebody's body and helping to increase their health, whether oils are being used to like uplift our moods, whether it's being used in something that I'm making as a gift or something that I'm making to clean my counter or to like scent my home to like smell good. There's so many reasons throughout the day that we use essential oils. So what they're doing is making it super easy and convenient to put plants in our life. Okay, so that's a tiny bit of like what oils are, and I could like go into that so much more and go deeper and deeper and deeper into it, but we've got lots of shows and I can ramble, so we'll leave it at that for the moment. But what I want to talk about is why would we do that? Like, why should we even consider using these concentrated plants over medicines? Okay, and this, I could go on a soapbox about this, but I'll try to keep it short and simple, is that I feel like in our society, we've gotten so disconnected from the natural world in so many ways, and we've relied so much on like modern and man-made things, okay? And in some ways, that's good. That's helped us in a lot of ways. Medicine, for example, like I'm so thankful for like modern medicine and like these amazing scientists and surgeons and people that have figured out our bodies and how to help us. Like, it's such a blessing, but I also feel like we have gotten to this point that we have become so reliant on modern medicine that we have forgot that we have the ability and the power and the means to take care of ourselves. Okay, if we could rewind like 150 years, if anybody in the family was like having a need, okay, maybe they weren't 100% feeling great, okay, maybe they ate too much and their belly is not settling their dinner well, maybe they're like sniffing and coughing, maybe they're having seasonal allergies, maybe they have like head tension, maybe they work too hard and they have some back pain, like whatever the issue was, like Grandma didn't go to Walgreens, Grandma went to the garden, okay? And that was just standard. Grandma went to the garden, like Grandma grew the herbs, Grandma made the tea, Grandma made the poultices, Grandma made the salves. Like, there was a local apothecary so that if you did need something that wasn't in the garden, like you could go and you could purchase these herbs, and it was common household knowledge of what to do with them. Okay, and then at some point, because humans are amazing and super smart, we figured out that we have the ability to look into like the chemical compounds of a plant and what this plant can do, and we have the ability to duplicate it. So we started doing that, okay? So medicine is essentially the compounds of what a plant can do duplicated in an artificial way. And once that's done, then it can be patented, then it can be sold, then it can be branded. And somehow, in a very short period of time, like 100 years-ish, we've gone completely from doing that ourselves to being dependent on these products, okay? And the trouble with that, okay, there's a lot of troubles with that, but one of the biggest troubles with that is your body doesn't always know what to do with these artificial man-made things, okay? On a cellular level, your body knows what to do with plants. When you eat a salad, your body says like, oh, hey, this vegetable has this vitamin and my liver needs it. And this vegetable has this vitamin that I've been lacking because of XYZ. And your body like pulls the things from these foods and it does what it needs to do with it. On a cellular level, your body communicates with that plant and it does what it needs to do. And your body doesn't do that quite so well when we are talking about like artificial man-made things, okay? The other issue with these artificial man-made things is that they often have side effects, okay? If you think of the last time you like sat and watched TV and you watched a commercial, like I always get the biggest kick out of like drug commercials because you'll have this medicine commercial for like, I don't know, let's say like a mental health disorder, like a depression or something. And, you know, you see these like beautiful women like running through this field of flowers and they're laughing and they're with their children and they're so full of joy. And it's like, hey, if you suffer from, you know, like XYZ, talk to your doctor if like this is right for you. And it all looks so happy. And then they're like, but side effects may include, right? And they like start rambling off these things like you may feel happy and run through the field with flowers, but you also may have like kidney failure and liver failure and like internal bleeding and headaches and nausea and diarrhea and constipation and suicidal thoughts and like possibly death. And you're like, whoa, I just wanted to like feel a little better, right? So a lot of times these prescription drugs come with side effects that can be really harmful for your body. And what I found that in a lot of ways we're also talking about the symptoms. You know, a lot of times you have this issue and there's symptoms and we use these medicines to address these symptoms without ever really coming back to talk about like the root. Like I don't really want to talk about XYZ, like what to do about XYZ that's happening in my body. Like I want to talk about why is that happening in my body and what can we do about that, okay? So holistic health and natural health often we're working with addressing the root of things and getting at what's like really going to help your health and make you feel better and not just masking symptoms, okay? So I know a lot of people on this show, like a lot of us are already plant people, okay? So maybe when I say that, I'm like getting nods opposed to people thinking like, oh, I didn't necessarily ever think of that. And maybe there's a little bit of both, okay? So, but I also want to talk about like why oils as plant medicine, because even if we know to go to plants opposed to turning quickly toward like pharmaceuticals, there's a lot of options for you to use plants, okay? Like you can have tea, like I'm drinking an herbal tea now, like teas, there's tincture, you can make tinctures, you can make salves, like there's so many ways that you can use plants. And sometimes I talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, I'm all about like plant medicine, like I make all my own tinctures and I make all these things, and like that is awesome, like so good, like more power to you if that is in like your daily regular like routine, like awesome, like so good. But what I found is that for the average American, we're just not living life like that. Like it's not always practical. Like a lot of these herbs are not easily accessible. They're not easy to find. They're not easy to purchase. Like we're not all growing our own food and our own herbs, or maybe we are, but we can't, like we just can't grow everything. Like different things grow in different climates and different temperatures and different times of the year. Like sometimes these things are harder to find. And working with herbs often takes more preparation, right? Like you're drying herbs and you're preparing herbs and you're like making a tincture that needs to like sit and seep and soak for weeks. Like there's a lot more preparation. So the thing that I like about essential oils is they're just easy. Like they're just simple. They're easy. It's so easy to have a whole medicine cabinet full of bottles of plants instead of full of bottles of pills. They're just easy. And we're going to talk more on other episodes about like how to use oils, but they're just so easy to use and they're simple to use. And, you know, it's not something that you necessarily have to taste. Like often when you're working with herbs and tinctures and teas, like the taste isn't always wonderful, and especially if there's any parents, like I'm a mama of 3, and sometimes if we're working with tinctures, like my kids just don't want to do that. Like they don't like it, it tastes bad, so they're just easy. It's just a simple way to get plants in on your body. Okay, so I want to touch too on the importance of the quality of essential oils, because I have watched just in the last 5 years, like the market for essential oils get crazy, and it used to be that essential oils were kind of this like uncommon, not super known thing. Like maybe your hippie aunt used some essential oils, or maybe you could get them at like the local herb shop if you knew what to ask for, but it was not like a mainstream thing. And as a couple of these essential oil companies, like doTERRA, for example, that I work with, like as they've become more popular and as they've grown and as they've become successful, essential oils in general have become more and more common. And so now, like you can get, like you see essential oils everywhere, and there's this huge range of quality, and there's this huge range of cost, and there's just a huge broad thing now. It's not only good quality oils that are available, like everything is available. Like I was in the Hobby Lobby recently, like the craft store, and there's an end cap full of essential oils, and they've got these oils that like I know about oils, and I know the process that goes into like we'll say frankincense, for example. Frankincense is one of the most like highest quality of oils. Cost wise, it's way more valuable than certain oils. Like the resin from the trees are like it's super hard to harvest. They're grown in the Middle East. Like the process to get just a little bit of this rare precious oil it's a big deal, and there's value in it, and therefore there's a cost attached to it. But I can go see at Hobby Lobby, I can see the end cap on the end cap on the craft store, and like a bottle of frankincense is like $5 or something, and it's just crazy to me because I can look at that and know, like I don't know what's in that, but it's not frankincense. Like it's not what it should be, and if it is, it isn't coming from where it should be, or it's not only that plant. Like there is just this huge broad range of quality available, and the quality of your plant medicine is like wild important. It's so important. You need to look at essential oils as what they are, which is plant medicine. Okay, if you think about, like, back to our example of getting your medicine from the doctor. Like if you went to the doctor and you talked to your doctor and you said, these things are going on in my body, and the doctor said, okay, this is the medicine I suggest for you. Here's your prescription. I want you to go to the pharmacy and fill it. Okay. You would go to the pharmacy and you would make sure that your medicine is like tested, that it's safe, that it came from a pharmacist, that you know where it came from. You would not like stop on the corner from Joe Schmo and like pick up your prescription and then put it in your kid's body. Like you wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't. Like you'd be like, is it safe? Like what is it? Like where did it come from? Is there anything else in it? Like you wouldn't do it. Okay, so you can't do that with your plant medicine either. Like these plants are medicine and they're going in your body, and it's so important that you know what they are and where they came from. Okay, so with that, like oils are plants, and plants can come from all sorts of, like, grown in all sorts of different places, and where a plant is grown and how it's grown crazy affects like what the plant can do and the benefits of the plants. Okay, like let's I like the example of a tomato. Okay, I can get a tomato a couple different ways. I like to garden. I like to grow food. So I can go out in the summertime. I can go to my garden and I can have my like amazing high quality soil that I've like enriched with compost from like my veggie scraps that I've made throughout the year, and I can grow like these high quality organic seeds, and I can watch them grow, and the sun ripens them, and I watch them turn red, and I can like pick this tomato from my garden, and like that homegrown summer sun ripened tomato is like full of flavor and full of vitamins and full of nutrients, and it's amazing, right? Or I can go like in January to like Kroger or Safeway or the local like whatever grocery store, and I can buy like this like conventional tomato that has been grown probably in a greenhouse out of season somewhere where they don't normally grow, that it's been grown with like Miracle-Gro and pesticides and like all these things, and then it was like picked green and ripened chemically or like ripened over time, and it's still a tomato. Like it is a tomato technically, but the difference in the vitamins and the quality and the taste and the flavor of that tomato versus the one I grew at home vine ripened in summertime is drastically different. Okay, and that's how any plants work when we're going to talk about plants. So back to talking about essential oils, it's the same thing. Okay, like how that plant is grown, where it was grown, what was sprayed on it when it was grown, the soil that it was grown, how it was harvested, the proper climate, the proper altitude, like all these things matter, and all those things are going to come back in like the chemical medicinal compounds that end up in that oil. So sure, you could get that bottle of, you know, frankincense for $10 at the craft store, but it's not going to help you the same way, and in fact in a lot of ways it can harm you. Okay, essential oils are not medicine technically, meaning that they are not regulated in the same way that a medicine is. They're not regulated by the same agencies, and in some ways that's a good thing, okay? But in some ways it's not, in the sense that that bottle of oil from Walmart or whatever can say whatever the heck it wants to say, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything. So an oil can say that it's like pure, like 100% pure lemon oil or whatever. It might not be. It might not be. So it's really, really important that you like truly know the source of where your oils come from. Okay. And I personally, I researched this, and I researched a lot of different brands before I committed to the brand that I use. And maybe there are others out there that are fantastic. Like it's possible that there's like a woman in your community that grows lavender, and she grows it so beautiful, and she has these beautiful lavender fields, and she like harvests it herself, and she distills it, and she sells it locally, and it's like awesome, amazing lavender. Like that may be a thing, but what I found is that on like a large scale, with all oils from all around the world, like available easily to whoever, I personally trust the doTERRA brand. So one thing I really like about their brand too, that I want you to consider no matter what brand you use, is where they come from. So plants grow best where they are naturally and indigenously grow. So as a company, doTERRA chooses to source their plants and their oils from where they grow. So we have oils coming from all over the world, like frankincense from the Middle East, and like Nepal. We grow our wintergreen from Nepal, and our sandalwood from Hawaii, and just lemons from Italy. Like wherever these plants grow, that's where they come from. And for one, the oil's better like that. The medicinal properties are better like that. But for two, you are then like supporting farmers and harvesters and like growers all around the world, like making massive changes in the communities of these farmers where these plants naturally grow, opposed to just like growing plants in greenhouses wherever a company is from. So I really strongly suggest that you consider your sourcing of where your oils come from, and really where anything come from. Like I can go off of oils and talk about that with everything, like whatever food that you're getting, whatever your product is that you're using, like really, really as consumers, we need to think about like, where is this coming from? Like, where is it coming from? How are the communities impacted by the production of it? Like, are the people that are creating it, like, are they being treated fairly? Are they being paid properly? Like, we need to be like conscious consumers about all things. So those are some of the reasons why I personally choose doTERRA, but whatever you choose, just please look into those things. The testing is super crazy important. So it's really important that any oil that you choose, that it's been tested for purity. We talked about how essential oils are so concentrated. So I want you to think about if the oils are that concentrated, so is anything else that comes with that plant. So if that oil or that plant is sprayed with chemicals to keep bugs away, or sprayed with chemicals to help it grow or ripen faster, like those chemicals become part of that plant, and therefore they're concentrated in your plant medicine. So testing can ensure that there's nothing else in the plant that shouldn't be in the plant. Some essential oil companies will use other fillers in with the plant material to like stretch it farther. Okay, that's going to have a negative impact on the way that the oil works for you, and also the safety of the oil. Some essential oils use chemicals in the distillation process. So we talked about them being steam distilled. Sometimes they're chemically distilled, so they're using chemicals to pull the essential oil from the plant material. All these things can be really harmful and unsafe for you. So it's just really important to consider the quality. And I think a lot of times when we think about like what's in something, we just think about food, like what you're eating, like what you're putting in your body, like whether it's food or medicine or something. But I think that it's also really important to realize that things that we come in contact with get inside of our body on a lot of different ways. Okay, anytime you put something on your skin is one of the largest organs of your body. Your skin is absorbing it and it's getting into your system. So when we're talking about like using essential oils on your skin, or when we're talking about using a lotion or a face wash or your hair care or a perfume that you spray, like anything you put on your body is getting in your body. And anything that you breathe in is getting in your body. So things that you're cleaning your house with, things that you're washing your clothes with, your air fresheners and your sprays and your candles and anything scented, anything made with fragrance, anything that you are breathing in, it's getting in. Okay, and so we're going to talk a lot more in future episodes about like different natural products and how to like use different plant-based things in natural products. But my point is, for now, is to like with the quality of your essential oils, like how important that it is that only these natural high quality plants are getting in your body. I just heard a little timer beep, which I set to myself because I have this like tendency to like ramble and talk and blah, 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 blah. And I knew I would do that. So for today's show, I just kind of wanted to touch really quickly on what is an oil, why might we use it, and why quality is important. So there's so much more to talk about. So I want to make sure that you guys tune in if you're interested and you want to learn. Every second and fourth Thursday at 6 Pacific time, so 7 Mountain time, right here on the WUNTV, we're going to be talking about essential oils. So next week we're going to talk about the different ways that you can use them. So there's multiple different ways you can use oils, and we're going to talk about how to learn why you would use which way for what. And we're going to start talking about different essential oils and what they do. Talking about some of my different ones. We're going to make stuff. We're going to do recipes. We're going to be doing a lot here. So make sure that you tune in to continue to learn. And then on every show, we're also going to do a giveaway. So for our first giveaway, I have like a little sample pack that I want to send to someone with like a few of my favorite oils that you can try, and a little guide that tells you more about oils and different things you can use for different one, and samples of my different products. So if you are interested in continuing to tune in and learn, make sure that you like the WUNTV page so that you can follow along, and also share this video and the page so that other people can learn more about essential oils. And if you like and you share, and then also comment on here so I know that you did that, then you'll be entered to win, and I will at random pick a winner and reach out to you to get your information to send that to you. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. I hope that we can all be inspired to live more natural lives, and I would be honored to be your oil lady and be a part of helping you to do that. So thank you.